Meet Paris. No, not that Paris. Paris, a 17-year-old high school dropout who left school at the age of 14 to establish her own jewelry selling business with only 200 pounds. Fast forward 3 years, she owns her own emporium store, specializing in one-of-one homeware products and furniture. How did she do it? Find out in today's video. Hey Paris.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
You said I have such a beautiful emporium, but I want to know, how did you start it? How did you get the inspiration to even start something as big as this?
A couple of years ago, it was actually in lockdown whilst I was still at school. I started selling a bit of jewellery. So I saved up £200.
And how old were you when you
14.
You were 14,
Yeah.
Okay. So at 14 years old, you started your own jewellery business?
Yeah, so I saved up £200. I found a wholesaler.
Okay.
Started an Instagram page and I just thought, right, let's see where this goes. And then I thought, actually, maybe let's take the next leap. Left school, I thought, right, I don't want to go down the college education route. And I thought, right, I open this. Too many people are scared to do things because of what others will say or what others will think.
So without further ado, let's get into the store. Show me a couple pieces. I know you do one of a kind, so show me and take me through.
These sofas, fully bespoke, one of a kind. We do everything made to measure, any colours, any fabrics.
Are you here by yourself? Do you do it by yourself, or you work with some people?
It's me by myself. My mum is a really good help though as well. Like if I need the help, she'll pop in and help me. I try and just keep my face to it at all times because I think that's good as well with business.
Of course.
You know, make sure that you're behind the camera, you're talking to your people.
Of course, yeah.
Social media is everything to me because I think even if you don't have actual customers coming in your store, online is the place. Social media for me, it's always been that if I keep my face behind it and I keep filming videos and talking to my customers, they like that because they want to see the person and you know, they want that trust and that good level.
And where have you learned all these things from business? Because I can see you're very well learned in the aspect of business, you know, getting to know someone, finding out their needs and really just paying attention to them as an owner.
I think it is just as well as the years go on, you learn more things about how customers like you to come across and how customers, you know, want you to talk to them, and you need to bring them effort, have a good face to the business.
How does your business work?
So it's a bit of a mixture, to be honest. Some things we do make, but then a lot of like the bespoke sofas, cushions, pictures, we do have quite a few suppliers doing that. Okay,
you get it from the supplier, then you put your own markup and sell it. How is the process of finding the supplier, finding the shop, etc., creating this?
It's definitely been a hard process because that's something that a lot of people do say to me, you know, how do I find these suppliers?
Of course.
But I think a lot of it is through word of mouth. Once you're getting into this sort of industry, you meet someone who knows someone else, and then before you know it, you've got this big platform of people around you. One
thing I love was your BBC Look North interview. I love the way you spoke in it. And what advice would you give to someone that says, I'm not able to do this? You know, many youth will look at you and think, you know what, she's only doing it because of the location she's in or because of the way she was brought up. What do you say to those type of people?
I think, that's definitely a good point because a lot of people do say this, you know, what if we haven't got a lot of money to start with or something like that. But I think a little bit goes a long way. If you're wanting to start something up, you don't need to spend thousands, you know. Get whatever you can together and buy some products or some items that aren't a lot but add a bit of profit on for yourself, and before you know it, it will take off. It does take a lot of effort, you know. I'm still doing a business course, obviously I run the shop, then there's obviously your driving lessons.
Of course.
I also do a little bit for my dad's business as well. I'm dipping in and out of there because I feel like I want to get involved in that
And that's one thing I like about you, Paris. You're not a one-trick pony.
No.
Now, of course, you have the jewelry store, but now as I'm seeing you have Paris Emporium, but you also have House of Paris.
Yeah.
Now, House of Paris, what is that?
So I've literally just launched House of Paris. It's a clothing boutique online. But I thought, I've got the premises here, you know, I've got plenty of space. So again, found a supplier, I've bought some clothing now, so we're just going to see where that takes us as well. So you don't need to start with thousands of pounds, start with, you know, £50, just buy some little items or something and just keep going, and don't listen to other people either, because there will be hate and there will be, you know, a lot of negativity, but stay positive, keep going. So we've got these really, really nice chairs. Again, You can have these any colour.
Are these the fabrics?
Yeah, I want people to know that, you know, you can have anything is possible.
Wow, this is amazing. So I can order this chair in any of these fabrics. And how much would a chair like this go for? Give me an example of what the supplier would give it to you and what would you sell it for?
Yeah, so I try and double up on most things.
Okay.
So if I'm buying a table in at £100, I'd probably sell it at £200.
I like
So
it.
the suppliers are really good as well. They'll send it straight to the customer, so it's a really easy process for myself, to be honest with you.
Awesome. So what does a good day financially look like for Paris?
So as you can imagine, it really does vary because I'm selling things from candles, which are £20, to tables, which probably go up to £1,000.
That's right.
Weekly, it does really vary, but if I'm selling a good dining, you know, setup, that's like an £1,000 sale. I try and just, you know, it's hard, isn't it? But don't always think about the figures, you know, just keep going.
How much did it cost you to start up your business?
So I would say for the shop, it was definitely a good couple of £1,000s for all my stock to actually fill it. Yeah. And then obviously my rent, and nowadays as well with all the bills increasing and things. It's hard to not come across, as people would say, greedy, but you've got to earn your money.
You have to.
You've got to look at your bills and your rent, and everything is increasing. So I think this is why businesses are definitely struggling as well.
So did your past businesses, such as your jewelry store, help to finance this business?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my jewelry, because I was selling a lot of it and always every single day it was going, it definitely added up quickly.
And how much did you start your jewelry store with?
£200.
£200.
Yeah.
So essentially, Paris Emporium was built with £200.
And with the jewelry, I'd say I was probably earning a good couple of £1,000s a month off it.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is
crazy
amazing.
How quickly the orders were just coming in and going out. I think with that, people were ordering because every day I'd upload a video with me showing the jewelry, you know, this is the product, it's here in my hands.
Yes.
Videoing it, holding it, showing it to your people, you know, coming across the right way as well. Always putting deals out for your customers to say thanks.
You're a youth who's making, we can safely say 5 to 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
What can you say to a youth that, or adult, or whoever is watching this that is failing in persistency?
Yeah, I think persistency is everything in business. You know, a lot of these people on Instagram that preach about, you know, business, and they say you have to keep going, you can't give up. A bad day isn't a bad life.
Yep.
You have to keep going. And too many people, I think, look at it and think, no, not for me.
Of course.
Too much work. It's not going to work out. You have to keep going. The stock that we have in now, you can take away whatever you want in here. A lot of the time with quite a few customers, it is like appointment basis. So they'll come in, you know, we'll have a coffee or a tea together and we'll talk about what their ideas are, what they want. So they might say, oh, I want a table, chairs and a sofa. I'll go away, you know, scribble all this down, speak to my suppliers, and then we design something. I think appointment basis is really nice for the customer as well because it's that one-to-one.
Personal.
Yeah, and then we'll take it back to the customer.
Yeah.
They'll give it the yes or the no, and then we'll get cracking, making, and then a couple of weeks later, they'll have their items in their homes.
Great. We have, I forgot the gentleman's name, but I know it's Peaky Blinders.
Yeah,
though.
Tommy.
Tommy, exactly, Tommy.
He's definitely a big popular one.
Really?
Yeah.
These are pieces you can't find anywhere else.
That's what I really wanted to do when I started this. I wanted to bring to not only my town, but you know, online, Instagram, places like that, some different things. It's hard to be different nowadays. I want people to know that, you know, I haven't just walked in here and just done it all alone. My mum and dad have been a huge help. They're really, really good people. My dad's definitely impacted me. I mean, he started with a £7,000 overdraft.
Wow.
With his company, and now he's got nearly 100 employees.
Wow.
It's huge.
Wow.
If he's got that fire, then I want that fire. When I grew up, my dad was always, you know, he was always busy, and now it's got to a point where his company's so big that he can spend time with us, and he can, you know, come here and talk to me and say, right, I'm not getting involved, but this is my piece of advice for you. Amazing.
What I say is I love your drive to say you've been around your dad, you've taken, and you've actually done it because, you know, there's something that my personal father always says. He says it's a decision to be rich. People might think your life is already perfect. You know, I'm pretty sure someone's mortgage is on your left wrist. Do not shy away. You drive a Range Rover, Vela. Someone in your position, it's very easy to get comfortable. What keeps you not comfortable?
Do you know what? I would say that there's a lot of people on Instagram that I follow, you know, young entrepreneurs that I would say are doing 10 times better than me.
Okay.
And they definitely inspire me. And what inspires me as well is I think in this generation now, people are getting their lives sorted and, you know, getting financially well off, very, very young.
Yeah.
I think by 25, you know, people have got houses, and I'm just very focused, you know. I'm not necessarily one of them people. I've got a lot of friends around me, but I'm not always socialising, you know. I'll sit in here till 11 o'clock at night if I have to, doing bits.
What's the biggest risk you've ever taken?
The biggest risk I've taken is definitely investing in this place.
Okay.
You know, when I open these doors, even when you stay positive, you have that thought in your mind, what if no one turns up? What if this doesn't take off? But like I say, you have to just believe that it will. You know, I'm really big into manifesting and, you know, what you think you will attract. So I try and just always keep positive and think things will work out.
Yes.
At the minute, I am just focusing on keeping this place going and getting it to a point where it's going to run on its own, kind of, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And then I hope in the next couple of years I could maybe invest in another store or even move and see how that gets on.
Yes, of course.
Definitely keep House of Paris going, see where that takes me. But I'm also definitely looking at the minute, in any other time that I get, working alongside my dad a bit as well in his company, just to see how I can get on there as well.
Yeah.
Because I think you'll know yourself, when you've got a family that's you know, successful and stuff, you may as well use it. And
of course, you may as well use it. Dropping out of school, or leaving school rather, how did that have an effect on you? Did that have an effect on you educationally? And would you recommend that to someone? I'm
still in the process actually of doing a bit of a business course, which doesn't require me to go into college, but it's kind of like an apprenticeship alongside this. So I'm definitely still diving into that, but I will say that course isn't business.
Okay.
But
explain, talk to me.
Yeah, so this is another thing. I think when you go and study business at uni or at college, wherever, the questions are just all the same, you know. It's not real life, that's not business.
Yes, of course.
I think it's good to have, you know, on your CV and stuff, but education isn't everything.
Of course. So why are you doing it?
I'm doing it because it kind of just filled the gap at the time.
I get you.
That's it, basically. And it's just another thing to add to the list, isn't it? But education isn't everything. I think what's most important is talking to people, you know, who you socialise with, who you sit in a room with is going to impact your life. Yeah.
What would you say to someone maybe who wants to drop out of school, who wants to leave their school because they've got a big dream of this? Would you say follow it, stay in school? What would you say to that person?
I would say go for it.
Go for it. I love that.
Everything.
I love that.
You know, education hasn't changed either. The curriculum is still the same.
Very true.
Years and years on. Everyone, I think, goes to school to come out to be this one individual, and that's what's messed up about the whole system.
Yes, and very true to what you're saying. You know, education is no longer a necessity in having money, in, you know, creating the business that you want. And as you've been in education for a long time, you know that what you've learned is not really helping you in this store. My last question that I'm going to ask you is, what piece of advice can you say to the youth or someone that's watching this that wants to have something like this? Your biggest piece of advice.
Yeah, so I would say just go for it. Don't take others' advice. Don't always listen to others. You don't need thousands of pounds, you know. Just think of an idea, go with it, use the resources that we've got. You know, we've got so many entrepreneurs on Instagram and Facebook that create these videos, mentors, advice. Seek everything you can. Thank you so much. We had such a great time here. And before I go, Paris, I need this. I need this. Thank you. And hopefully we'll see you soon again. Yeah, thank you.